We try to focus on buying businesses that we can utilize our skills this way, and also businesses that have reasonably good opportunities and risks.
Hey guys, this is Ben from Flippa, and this is Humans of Flippa. I'm joined today by a gentleman named Michael who's been around online entrepreneurship for a long time, and I am excited to hear his story. Michael, if you want to just say hi to the folks out there, and I'd love to know just kind of where you got started. I know you've been doing this for quite a while, so what's kind of your backstory? How'd you get into online business?
Hi, Ben. Yeah, glad to be here, and hello to all the Flippa users. I've actually been on Flippa before it was Flippa. Back then it was SidePoint Marketplace, I think back in like 2005 or so.
Yeah.
And I remember I searched and bought some of my old sites through that marketplace, and then a few years later it became Flippa.
So a long time back. What do you remember? What were the first things you were buying or selling on that marketplace? I'm so curious.
Yeah, for sure. I some small websites. I think I bought a website through for about $50, a new blog, something like that. And also I found a programmer to help me fix one of my other sites through the SidePoint forums before then.
Absolutely. So do you have any like great success stories that made you kind of really want to do this full time?
Yeah, I remember one of my first sales on Flippa. I sold a website for about $3,000, and it was kind of a, it was an okay sale. It wasn't that particular at the time. But then the buyer, a few months later, the buyer was really excited about it and he liked the deal. So he contacted me later and asked if I wanted to sell some more websites. And that's how I basically ended up selling most of my portfolio at the time. It was my first six-figure transaction. And then I thought, well, this could be a real business. This could be a real thing. Like, I thought that's quite a bit of money for a few weeks of work.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can do it right, you must have lucked out. You knew what you were doing, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was probably about 10 years ago.
Yeah. So what's changed since then? I know you're actually brokering a little bit now. Is that the case, or what's your general life these days?
Yeah. So I'm involved with two companies. One is called Domain Magnate, and it's a micro private equity firm. So we buy established online businesses, and we actually buy on Flippa quite often as well. And we focus on businesses under $1 million in value, mostly content, SaaS. And we have investors, we have funds, and we buy and manage and grow those businesses. And the other company I'm involved with is called Deal Flow Brokerage, where I'm a partner, and that's a M&A advisor firm. So we're also a partner with Flippa, and we put many of our listings on Flippa as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. So when you're either buying businesses or partnering up with someone that you're willing to broker, what are some key items that you're kind of looking for in an online business?
Yeah, it's a very good question, Ben. So there is our due diligence process. We divide it into three parts, basically. The first is numbers, and obviously like every deal starts and ends with numbers, because you have to just be able to see that it makes sense. And we look at the price, at the revenues, the profits. We look at the trends, like is it going up, is it going down, and all these kind of things, just a general basic analysis. And of course, verifying numbers as well. But then the more important things are to look at the opportunities and the risks. So for us specifically, there are a few key areas where we are pretty good. So we try to focus on buying businesses that we can utilize our skills this way, and also businesses that have reasonably good opportunities and risks.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of risks, I'm always curious, and I'd like to know, do you have any failure stories? Anything that you bought and you're just like, why did I do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I I bought a website for $10,000 a few years ago, and I lost about $10,000 on it. So that absolutely happens. But at the time, we were mostly buying bigger 5- and 6-figure deals, so we haven't really spent much time reviewing it. And that's what often happens when you don't really pay much attention. You end up doing something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess you're spending more time when it's something worth, hundreds of thousands of dollars versus 5 or 10 grand. But it's never fun to lose $10,000 either, right?
No, it definitely isn't. But it was also a valuable lesson. Like really, I quickly realized that we should look more at backlinks. We should look more at content. And now we had a really good SEO team. So we have our SEO managers reviewing all our deals. So we know that's not going to happen again.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have any specific advice you ever give to people who are just getting into this game for the first time, who've just maybe heard of Flippa last week and they're like, I don't even know what's going on here?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually get asked that a lot. I've probably had hundreds of people over the past years just keep asking me, like, how do I get into it? How do I get started flipping websites or making profits from that? So what I usually advise is, before you get started, I'd say the biggest mistake that people make is they just go and start looking at deals, and then they kind of find something and then just go and buy it from that excitement. And then they often find out that they don't have the skills, don't have the experience to manage the website, or that they miss some things in due diligence. So what I usually advise is a bit more strategic approach. So first think about, what is your budget? What are you really looking to spend on the next deal? Then think about what is the criteria, like what are some things that you know how to do? What are some things where you can bring some advantages? For example, some people are good at web design, some people are really good writers, some people are programmers, or people might have access to some other resources that would be helpful. So it's important to pick what type of business you want to acquire, and then also learn a little bit more to understand what is the value of this business, what would operation involve, how to grow it. And then once you've done those 3 things, once you feel that you're confident enough, that's the time to really go and look at deals and buy one.
Yeah, that's great advice. It makes a lot of sense. I think a lot of people look at the sites on Flippa or just across the internet and just thinking they look for an opportunity opposed to necessarily thinking of what's right for them, what they might have a little bit of knowledge about, passion about, and the skills level to kind of improve upon, because you don't want to buy something that you're not going to improve on, right? It's pretty interesting. So I'll leave actually just with one final question. I'd like to ask something that's a little bit weird. I know, because I'm always talking to people who work day in, day out online, sitting at their computers. So I'm always curious, now that you found yourself as a digital entrepreneur, what does your perfect day look like?
That is an interesting question. Today is the start of a good day. So I woke up around 7:30. I went for a short hike. There is a nice hiking path close to where I live, and then I had some work in the morning. Some fresh juice for breakfast. So to me that's a start of a good day.
Absolutely.
And then some more work, and then I try to mix up periods of work with some exercise or some other things to avoid working for too long without breaks. And I'm probably gonna have massage later this evening. That's the benefit of living in Thailand.
That's
have
not
some
bad.
good food. Yeah, have some good food and relax a bit in the evening. So something like that.
Yeah, I love it. And I mean, it's great. And I think that's just the joy that a lot of people who work, as digital nomads, as digital entrepreneurs get to enjoy, is that you can take some breaks when you want to. You can wake up and go on a hike. I love that. I mean, it's exciting. You must enjoy your life.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the benefit of being a digital entrepreneur is you can really build your own life, your own kind of perfect day, and then just create it.
Fantastic. Well, thanks a lot for joining me today, Michael. I like hearing your story.
Thanks, Ben, and good luck to all the new users on Flippa.